Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to our Ramadan healing series. And in today's topic, we will be delving into uh, a very intense topic which many people whisper about but rarely understand clearly: magic afflicted illnesses, energetic harm, and the role of Ruqyah. This episode is not fearing you. It's not about fearing you. It's about clarity, grounding, and empowerment. Islam teaches us that the unseen world exists, but it also teaches us that Allah has given us protection, guidance, and healing. Let's explore how spiritual afflictions can affect a person, how Ruqyah works, and how to distinguish between spiritual and medical concerns. Ruqyah in Islam is a spiritual form of healing which involves recitation of specific Quranic verses, including the prophetic supplications, du'as, prayers to seek Allah's protection, a cure for physical, psychological, and spiritual ailments. How spiritual afflictions manifest physically. In Islamic tradition, the spiritual harm, whether from envy, evil, magic, just jinn possessions, is understood to affect a person's emotional and physical state. Not because the body is possessed, but because the heart, the mind, and the body, they are deeply connected. The common ways spiritual distress may show up is sudden emotional heaviness, feeling blocked, stuck, unexplained uneasiness, irritability, sadness, depression, difficulty in focusing, disturbed sleep, feeling drained, low energy, a sense of being off without a clear reason. These experiences can feel physical, because the nervous system responds to emotional and spiritual stresses both. Now, I'm not covering the emotional aspect of distress on the body, which can manifest as physical pain too, but it's important to remember that these can also come from stress, from trauma, from nutrient deficiencies, from medical conditions, which do come up on a diagnostic test, but we're going to talk about it later. Spiritual explanations are one lens, not the only one, but Islam acknowledges the connection. The Prophet ﷺ said that the heart influences the entire body. In Islamic tradition, the heart, the qalb or fuad, is frequently described as the seat of intellect, understanding, emotions, faith, acting as a spiritual brain or a command center that influences the whole body and thoughts. There is a hadith which says, "Verily, in the body there is a piece of flesh, which if sound, the entire body is sound, and if corrupt, the entire body is corrupt. And truly it is the heart." This is in Sahih Bukhari 52, also in Sahih Muslim 1599. Righteousness is here, and the Prophet ﷺ pointed to his chest 3 times. This is in Muslim. Allah has forgiven my nation for the evil suggestions of their hearts, so as long as they do not act upon it or they do not speak of it. This is in Ibn Majah. The Prophet ﷺ said this. This implies that thoughts or suggestions, they originate from the heart. The heart of the faithful is the throne of all the merciful. SubhanAllah, this is a popular, though sometimes considered daif, weak narration. It is used in Sufism and ethical context to describe the heart as a center of the divine knowledge and recognition. Because Allah Ta'ala has also said in the Qur'an that He's closer to our jugular vein. For indeed it is not eyes that are blind, but blinded are the hearts which are within the breast. This is in Surah Al-Hajj, Ayah 46. Now, understanding Ruqyah as a healing modality. Ruqyah is a form of spiritual healing rooted from the Qur'an. It's in the Qur'an and in Sunnah. It's not magic, it's not ritualistic. It's simply the recitation of Allah's kalam, Allah's words for protection and comfort. What Ruqyah does, it calms the heart, it reduces fear, it reduces anxiety, it strengthens spiritual resilience, it helps a person feel grounded and connected, especially if you understand the words. It cannot be only in Arabic, it can be in any language. Brings a sense of safety, clarity. Common ruqyas which are recited are Surah Falak, Surah Nas, Ayatul Kursi, the last two verses of Surah Baqarah, Ruqyah Sharia, Surah Al-Fatiha 7 times, Ruqyah Sharia, and the du'as of Jibreel alayhi salam, which he recited as Ruqyah on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Ruqyah is, it's a spiritual support. It's a way to soothe the hearts and strengthen the soul, while a person also takes care of his physical and emotional health. Now, how do we differentiate between the medical symptoms and spiritual symptoms? How do we know that this is spiritually jinn related or it is physically something medically is wrong? One of the biggest challenges people face is knowing whether their struggle is spiritual, emotional, physical, past trauma, and Islam encourages a wisdom, balance, and seeking appropriate help in all of these modalities. Now, signs that may point towards a medical or emotional cause is that body response on the diagnostic test, something you see in MRI, X-ray, some physical changes are observed in ultrasounds or other diagnostic machines, some chemical changes are there, but usually the jinns related illnesses do not show up on a machine. Sometimes, iron levels are low, the minerals are low, they may be drastically very low because jinns, they want energy from humans and they travel on negative ions, that's the electrons. This is why they can use our electrical impulses. So persistent fatigue, changes in appetite, long-term low mood, sleep disturbances, pain, discomfort, anxiety, overwhelm, difficulty in concentrating. If these symptoms are regular, they may be linked to some trauma, emotions, or physical ailment medically related. If these symptoms are irregular, they come up anytime, they don't have any pattern, they can, show up after Fajr, after Maghrib, they can be jinn related. If there is no regularity. And inshallah, if you contact me, I can help you explore your symptoms. If they are physical, if they are emotional, if they are trauma related, if they are jinn related, whatever the signs may be. More spiritual signs in nature, they are sudden emotional heaviness without a clear trigger, usually after Fajr Maghrib, feeling a sudden spiritual blockage, heaviness on the shoulders, showing aversion to the Qur'an, intense fear, discomfort during worship, not wanting to go to the masjid, repeated negative thoughts that feel intrusive, doubts on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, erratic thoughts, having a lot of thoughts in 1 minute, which could not be yours, which could be, some other people speaking in your head. So Islam teaches us to approach these things with calmness and not panic. And spiritual practices like ruqyah, like dhikr, making ruqyah water, they are helpful. While medical mental health care also supports the body and mind in a physical and neurotic realm, whereas the spiritual and medical approaches together can work to reach optimal health, inshallah. And bidnillah. Islam, it encourages us to, work on our healing, especially in the month of Ramadan. May Allah bring you peace, protection, strength. Inshallah, see you in the next episode. Ma salam.